Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. The past day or two, it's been some VODs from the Ultimate Series, and they were fantastic games, like some sort of new mech from Thermal and a Mass Reaper game and some other stuff like that. So, some absolutely crazy matches, but we're going to be getting into one of our more standard replay casts. This one's going to be an Acid Plant and a Terran versus Protoss, and as I say standard replay cast, that means this guy's going to be playing Root SuperNova. So SuperNova, the Korean Terran streamer, plays a lot of sort of unique styles, and then his opponent, spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, playing for Team Sloth. It's Astrea, who's one of the top North American Protoss, so it should be a good match here. Looks like SuperNova is going to be starting things off with a bit of a proxy barracks. I mean, that SCV moved out a little bit early, and that means something cheeky, and cheeky it is. Terrans have been going for the single proxy barracks a lot more lately. I mean, sometimes they follow it up with even more aggression, sometimes they don't. We'll see. SuperNova getting the second gas means he probably will. But yeah, I mean, the proxy barracks has been obviously a good build for a long time, but we're going to see how Astrea is going to react. He sent out a very quick probe scout, so he'll see this and say, alright, this is what it is. Being proxied by Terran ain't nothing new lately. We see Astrea immediately starting that cybernetic score. Has an extra probe and gas. You want to kind of give that a fix, and he does. Not going to leave a mistake like that for a long time. And then he's going to be starting a Zealot as well. Maybe a little bit worried of what's going to be coming his way. Whether it was going to be a quick Reaper or something, but SuperNova, no, he's skipping right ahead. Going straight for that factory and reactor. And that's really the aggressive kind. That's the I hope you don't find this kind, because SuperNova, if Astrea finds this, he can just like park his probe underneath it and SuperNova can never land because he'll build a pylon. And or at least force some Marines or something else out like that. So if Astrea found this, it would really throw a wrench into SuperNova's plans, but SuperNova taking the gamble and it not being found. That barracks is actually going to fly right on over to the base of Astrea, or at least it's heading that way. It'll take a while to get there. Not exactly the quickest, but he is going to land that. And so we should be seeing some Cyclones start up here, and there we are. So enjoy it while it lasts, because apparently the Cyclone's getting yet another change, according to the Blizzard Balance test notes. Astrea has been playing it very safe, but then he is planning on expanding. He's getting up a Stalker. Well, he's already got one. He's got a Zealot, so a bit of DPS. I mean, Cyclones are pretty good versus Gateway units, but Gateway units do have a fair bit more control, so we'll see how Astrea does control this. He's getting up that shield battery, which is very important, but might not be done in time before the Cyclones get here. If it finishes before the Cyclones get here, that would be a big deal, but looks like Astrea will be able to buy time for that to finish up, and that's a big deal versus two Cyclones. SCV is going to be able to repair these Cyclones a little bit as well, but SuperNova using the barracks to be a bit of a pain. Mess up the pathing of Astrea, and here comes in the Cyclones. We're going to see what they can get done. He's going to start working on the Nexus from the look of it. Maybe start a bunker with this SCV, but I mean, Astrea has got 3 Stalkers and a Zealot backed up by a shield battery. 2 Cyclones may have a tough time dealing with this. I mean, one Marine pops out, but he's probably going to go down pretty quickly. Cyclones are doing their best, but so far, Astrea not taking any real damage, and SuperNova, for the amount of aggression he went for, you want to get something else in. Widowmine will be able to pick off this Zealot, but then it does get picked off. SuperNova going to kite back with these to the best of his ability, but Astrea has the safe house, the shield battery. I mean, it's out of energy now, or mainly out of energy, but he's still got the 4 Stalkers, and they have a lot more mobility. SuperNova does pick one of them off, but I mean, 2 of the Cyclones are very weak, and Astrea could possibly get these. The barracks, though, is actually doing a fantastic job of messing up Astrea's mapping. A Cyclone gets a little bit too far forward for SuperNova. Another one getting incredibly weak, but it looks like there's just going to be too much for Astrea right now. And another Cyclone pops out for SuperNova, but we need to be so careful with these. Some of these Cyclones getting really weak. He's got to retreat. Adepts, actually, from Astrea, a cool choice. They're going to be able to shade after this. They might shade on top of a mine. No, but they're actually going to get this Cyclone. Look at this. Cyclones don't kill Adepts too quickly, so they're just going to run on by. And now SuperNova didn't get too much damage done with that push. That was a pretty good hold for Astrea, scouting it out right from the start. He's even getting up another shield battery in his mineral line to be safe. But yeah, nice hold by Astrea. SuperNova not going to get too much else done from the look of it. Cyclones running on home, but SuperNova was following this up with a Cloaked Banshee. But Astrea, thinking of what other aggression's going to be coming his way, has Stalkers in position, going to be getting out an Observer. This is looking pretty good for the American Protoss. Yeah, he's got to back on up with that Banshee SuperNova. I mean, he's looking for something, maybe waiting for Cloak, but there is going to be an Observer out. And where did it go? Okay, it's standing in the main base. Look at this, Astrea completely safe. Adepts are also shading across the map, so I mean, this is looking pretty rough for SuperNova right now. We'll see what he's going to do to try and come back. He's starting up a third CC, starting up a factory, or landing his factory back at home, pardon me. He really doesn't have much production up right now. You want to go land that factory. If he's thinking of a tech lab, we'll see. And he does settle on a tech lab, getting up the Raven. And then he's got the third CC starting before his natural even finishes. That's the sort of, I got minerals and no production, may as well build a CC. Mine will detonate on these Adepts, but they will get on in actually. And these SCVs, I mean, SuperNova will lose one or two. And then the Adepts may actually just completely get on out. Looks like they will. Good attack by Astrea there, getting some value. Also gets the scouting off, seeing exactly what his opponent's up to. May even get the mine. Oh, that would be so nice. The Widow Mine will get away. So a good reaction by SuperNova. Now, I mean, it's still looking good for Astrea, right? Like, he's on two bases. SuperNova started a third, but he's now getting into a robo, so we'll see, or a robotics facility and a robotics bay. Then also getting up Blink. So Astrea, I imagine we'll see a third Nexus pretty soon here. And then maybe we'll see him go for an attack or something like that. Not screaming out anything just yet. He's still rather on the defensive, but he doesn't have too much to worry about. He's actually going into that. This isn't an upgrade, you say a lot. Gravitic Drive, which makes those Warp Prisms quicker. So he's actually going to go for Disruptor drops, which, I mean, there's a chance SuperNova is going to follow this up with Mech, which, I mean, Mech's not the best versus Disruptors, and, I mean, so we'll see. SuperNova's now got both of his Banshees looking around, but there's Stalkers that'll soon have Blink. There's an Observer. So I don't think these Banshees are going to get too much done versus a Protoss, who's pretty much just back at home with this. Banshees, yeah, they immediately get seen by those Stalkers, and they gotta go. SuperNova's scanning. He sees the Disruptor. Doesn't see the Bay researching, but I mean, he can know that Disruptor drops can be a threat now, so he's got to be prepared for that. He's actually starting Vikings, which is very nice. They'll help deal with those Warp Prisms, pardon me. Getting up a lot of tanks too. Tanks decent versus Disruptors. In theory, they lose, but I mean, the Protoss has to have absolutely perfect control not to eat tank shots on a Disruptor. Now, Astrea may actually be going for an attack right now, I mean, breaking this could be tough. Yeah, it looks like he's hesitating a bit. May actually eat a Widow Mine. Is he going to react? Oh, that mine's actually retargeting tons. Does get the shot off. Stalkers will turn around, but also importantly, it does scout it out for SuperNova. Here comes the Disruptor. We'll see what it's going to shoot. Eats the tank shot there. Disruptor actually goes down, so that's a nice pick-off for SuperNova. Doesn't lose too much of anything there. So a bit of a mistake by Astrea there. I mean, Disruptors, if they shoot right out on the edge of the tank fire, they can still, in theory, hit the tank. But it's very tough because they don't see that far. Now, we'll see. I mean, Astrea, Stalker's not the best versus tanks. There's only one Disruptor now. So he's delayed his third to try and get this damage done, but I'm not sure he will. Banshee for SuperNova. I'm not sure where the other one went. Looks like one of them's back at home. One of them's out on the map. Maybe just zoning a little bit, but look at that. SuperNova uses his anti-armor missile, weakens those Stalkers, so they really can't engage in there. And, yeah, that Banshee for SuperNova is rather stuck. But so far, Astrea not going to get too much done. He's coming in with to the natural with this super quick Warp Prism. He may just unload it, fire away. Yes, he does. Going to pick off a few SCVs. I'm not sure exactly how many it killed, but probably like 4 or 5 there. And now SuperNova, though, I mean, he is playing this mech style. We'll see what he's going to get into next. Disruptor's on the way, so we're going to have Disruptor Zealot here versus, I mean, just standard mech Liberator tanks. Looks like Astrea coming in, trying to use that mobility. May lose a Stalker, but actually gets out, not losing anything. Cool micro there. Look at that Stalker, so bruised up, but he gets it out of there. Now, SuperNova moving out with his Viking. Yeah, that's sort of interesting. But look at this. Astrea, he's kind of worried about, I guess, run-bys or drops or things like that. So he's setting up plenty of pylons. He has the vision. He knows this game is going to go slower. the economy isn't that good for Astrea, as he's invested a fair bit into these disruptors, and he may actually be planning on going for a big attack versus SuperNova at some point. Lots of stalkers, lots of zealots, and look at that, Astrea being out on the map, not letting this Hellion run-by get through. But yeah, we'll see if Astrea throws up like a 4th base soon, or what he's going to go for, because it's either going to be a big attack or a 4th base. SuperNova does come in with that Banshee. He's going to get, I believe it was a single probe or two, but I mean, Astrea's not on the best economy. He's really worried about this harassment, and he kind of wants to go for a big attack from the looks of it. But looking at this, SuperNova, does he have that blue flame? He doesn't have blue flame, but he's going to try and get in with a Hellion run-by. And SuperNova's actually up on supply. Cannon is finished up. Stalker's going to help. SuperNova does get like a probe or two, and for Astrea, I mean, he's only on 50 workers. You got to be making more probes. And he's actually taking the gold base, so a double expand here. That's one way to try and make sure you can overwhelm your mech opponent, as right now SuperNova's army is pretty good. Observer goes down to a Widowmine there. Missile turret and Widowmine combo, picking that off. Hellion's looking for something, but Astrea's doing a pretty good job having vision out on the map. As if you know a Hellion run-by is coming, it's a lot easier to deal with, and Astrea's also, I mean, he's getting up cannons, so he's very wary of the Hellion run-by. Now we'll see. I mean, he's working his way up on probes a little bit. So far, he's just investing in a heavy ground army, though, whereas SuperNova, I mean, he could be making his way towards those battle cruisers. We'll just have to wait and see. Astrea, though, will be getting a very good economy up here. Though, I mean, taking the gold base, taking a 4th. So, assuming he chrono boosts out probes for a minute or two, he can really shoot ahead there. SuperNova is only on 3 bases still as well, which is a big deal. Because, I mean, eventually that mech really does start to run out of gas later on in the game. I mean, they don't necessarily mine out, but you can only produce so much off 6 gases. Having the extra really helps you out. SuperNova may start floating minerals soon as a result of that. Alrighty, so we'll see. I mean, SuperNova getting Liberator set up. He is looking to take that 4th base, but I mean, before they were equal on bases, now Astrea is up. He's at 5 bases. He's going to have a pretty good economy, partially because of this gold base. I mean, the resources lost between these two guys isn't that much. It's been a really passive clash here. We'll see. I mean, Archon Stalkers. Looks like Astrea going in for a little bit of an engagement. Maybe able to snipe the CC. Forces the cancel, which is really nice. SuperNova hasn't invested in really any other CCs. I mean, he's got 1 more building. But, I mean, as you mech, you really throw up a lot more CCs. But so far, SuperNova's really investing in a lot. He's even getting up a single battle cruiser so far. Whereas Astrea, he's now teching into Void Race. He's got double Stargate. Getting up a lot more gateways, too. And getting up a fleet beacon, so he does realize the potential threat. But, yeah, I mean, SuperNova looks like he will secure this 4th base. It's pretty tough for Protoss to break this, so we are going to be heading on into that late game, guys. SuperNova's going to want to transfer some of these SCVs, too, when that CC is done, as he desperately did need that 4th base, as he's pretty much mined out his main. And look at this, SuperNova's sensor tower actually seeing... Actually, look at this. If we look at SuperNova's vision, he actually sees the probes mining here on the sensor tower. He's got that double sensor tower at his 4th base. Just got to be safe. And now Astrea's just looking to poke around. He's coming with 2 Void Rays and a Warp Prism. That's a pretty interesting combo. But looking at this right now, SuperNova's still going into these BCs. I didn't see, but he's got 5 starports. So 3 battle cruisers at a time. Astrea, I mean, he's got a lot of gateways. He's getting up oracles, so that's sort of the first step to a late game Protoss air army. But so far, SuperNova, I mean, he has just been teching away. Oh, battle cruiser warping in, actually gonna try and deal with this. I mean, there's he's gonna get the Yamato cannon off, kill off the prism, but Zealots are now in the main base. SuperNova gotta deal with this. But I don't think this attack from Astrea is gonna get too much done, but he does see the battle cruisers, which is important. He's making these Tempests now. And Tempests are pretty good versus battle cruisers if they take the fight they want, but someone like SuperNova has gotten pretty good at moving around the map with battle cruisers, avoiding those head-on fights, which doesn't favor the BCs. And now look at this. He's already moving out with these 3 battle cruisers. He's going to go for some harassment, look for a base. Meanwhile, Astrea actually has a lot of bases. He's taking both the gold bases. I mean, if you have the option, you take the one that's further out. Gives you the most resources. And I mean, if he takes both the bases, one of those was supposed to be SuperNovas. Stalker goes down to the BCs there, but Astrea knows these guys are coming. And I mean, he's getting up a lot of Stargates right now. Or, yeah, there we go. He's got 4 Stargates. He's now getting up some Tempest. BC's the Yamato Cannon, those 2 Void Rays. Stalker's going to try and chase him down. One of them's just going to come off Blink there. Astrea not going to get it, though. And suddenly, I mean, this ground army for the Protoss not going to be as effective. Look at this, a BC coming in, getting Yamato Cannon Disruptor, so that goes down. And eventually, I mean, these guys are pretty much at max supply, so we're going to be seeing a max late game fight. SuperNova is starting a 5th base. Astrea really does need to take that out if he can, because once the Terran hits like 5 bases, it does get pretty scary with what they have the option to make. Now, Astrea, though, look at this. He's just getting up so many bases for days. He still only is on 64 workers, though. But eventually you do want to have that best late game army. Revelation going down right now, and now Tempest can begin poking. Disruptors slaughter those Marines there, but suddenly SuperNova has to deal with these Tempests. There's not too much on the ground as far as anti-air. It really is just these Tempests and a few Archons, but here comes in some more Tempest. Battle Cruisers are going to have a tough time engaging. Looks like SuperNova going to use that Matrix there to disable, Interference Matrix to disable those Tempests. But there's a lot of Tempests. 2 Yamato Cannons, going to pick off one of the Tempests though, which is very nice. And I mean, SuperNova still needs an answer to this. He's picking off a base on the left, but fortunately for Astrea, he does have a lot more bases. SuperNova secured the base to the top though, well, at least has it. I mean, Astrea is so busy on this base to the center as SuperNova. He's going up to 6 bases now, which is pretty good if you can get away with that as a mech player. And SuperNova, he's also going into 3-3 for these BCs, whereas Astrea's air upgrades are lacking behind a little bit, or lagging behind. Stalker's in position, going to engage these battle cruisers, but I mean, they're only +2 Stalkers, and these are 3 battle cruisers versus 5 Stalkers, so not a good trade there for Astrea. A good trade for SuperNova. Look at that, he just blinks out the injured battle cruiser, getting that efficiency. If we look at the resources lost, it's slowly going in the favor of SuperNova, and suddenly Astrea needs to be able to deal with this. Astrea does scout out this planetary fortress, but it's a little bit too late. I mean, it is a planetary fortress, and look at that, Mule's gonna drop in repairs. Astrea can deny the mining, but he's still busy dealing with these battle cruisers in his main. I think Astrea needs to trade off some of these Zealots, go for a lot more Tempest maybe. I mean, it's tough to deal with this army. A lot of, oh, look at this, look at all these Disruptors. Oh, are they just gonna fire on this? Are they gonna kill it? No, they're not going to kill it. Now the BCs come in, mass Yamato Cannon going down. I mean, Astrea traded those off. It maybe could have been a bit more effective, but the Stalkers also get pushed back. SuperNova really getting scary. Going to have 3 battle cruisers on his plate soon. And he's also going to find this Nexus, so shutting that down's nice. I mean, a lot of the minerals are gone, but the gas was still relatively fresh for Astrea, so he's got to abandon that. He's got a lot of bases still. He's got a good economy for sure, but still losing resources is also not good. If he can get the planetary, that would be good for him, but it looks like he is maybe looking for these BCs. Stalkers and Disruptors also going to be found by these BCs. SuperNova, I mean, he's going for an interesting engagement, or Astrea, pardon me, going for like the 1-2, but really just to get rid of this army. It looks like Tempest picks off a battle cruiser. That's nice for him. I mean, battle cruisers are expensive, and this is the time in which BCs, they have a very tough time engaging versus Tempest unless they use that tactical jump ability. And I mean, SuperNova, he's got to wait for the right minute to get on top of this Protoss army, but Astrea wants to use that mobility to his advantage. He's also getting +3 ship weapons, really going to help out versus the battle cruisers. Getting armor while this is going on would be important too, but there's the blink. SuperNova getting right on top of this. Anti-armor missile going down. Astrea may need to recall, but he's actually just taking the fight. Yamato cannons for days going down. Tempest able to volley down some of these BCs, but it looks like SuperNova's taking the better end of this, and Astrea's Tempest are starting to fall. Widowmines even get off. 1 mine kills off 3 Tempests there. And I mean, the BCs used their teleport ability, but he wiped out a lot of the Tempests there. Astrea instantly queues up a few more Tempests, but his economy isn't that good as he's only on 58 workers. And suddenly SuperNova up on army supply. Looks like Astrea gonna try and pick off this base, which will be nice. SuperNova hasn't been mining from it much. But that's a nice pick off down. Astrea really needs to buy time for himself. He's got a lot of gas, but he's actually just going on in right now. We'll see if he's going to get what he wants. He's engaging with tanks and liberators, but I mean, he's not going to be able to kill off the planetary. Maybe get some SCVs, which would be nice, but other than that, going to have to get out of there. And he really needs to be making more Tempest, I think. I mean, the fact that the Tempest were alone, SuperNova saw that and he took the engagement, and he still has the much more scary army. Astrea, he really needs to be making some more probes, I think. I mean, he's not mining off these gases, and you need a lot of gas. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of gas, but he really does need to start saturating these bases more. He's had this base for a long time, but hardly mined off it. So, I mean, oh, there we go. 7 probes at a time. Astrea figures he needs more. That's the beauty of having a ton of Nexus. So, 1 or 2 volleys of that, and he'll be back up. Look at that. He's at 65 probes now. That's a lot better, but I'd like to see 1 more, maybe, so he can really start building up that bank. I mean, he's gone for a lot of Archons, but Archon's not the best versus battle cruisers. There's a few Tempests, but I'd like to see more. I'd like to see armor upgrades on them as well. But I mean, this many Archons is still scary pretty much no matter what, I think. But if the BCs get off some nasty Yamato cannons, and I think they will. I mean, they don't one-shot the Archons, but they get pretty damn close to it. Some of the battle cruisers can also just teleport out, so Astrea really taking a fight that's worthless for him right now. His army's just being slaughtered. He's forced to retreat, but I think that mass Archon army, because he had so much gas, it wasn't the answer. And SuperNova's really ahead in the resources lost this game. No, I think we need to see more Tempest out of Astrea. He's made a lot of Stalkers, but Stalkers not the best versus battle cruisers. That's just a fact. We need more Tempest from Astrea. I mean, he's got 6, but not what you need. I mean, Widowmines are good versus them, but I think High Templar and Tempest are the way to deal with MECH. He just needed the better economy. He's making 8 more probes now, just casually, which is good for him. It'll really help saturate these bases quick, but he's actually going to lose one of these bases and probably some probes with it, so this is going pretty good for SuperNova. He's really just gotten the hang of using these battle cruisers to their best effect. He's getting up more CZs. He's trying to resecure these bases. Astrea is going to get on in here and maybe pick off the base, but actually, look at this. Mine's closing the gap. None of them do go off, though, so good reaction by Astrea to pull back, but so far this is looking pretty good for the Terran players so far. SuperNova just not losing this lead. Just Astrea not having the army to contest these battle cruisers. He's got a lot of Stalkers, but you cannot blink on top of this army. Do not blink on top of these BCs, Astrea. You can't do it, man. Okay, he dodges that there, but I mean, SuperNova's killing a base to the north of Astrea. I mean, he's got Tempest, but I mean, these battle cruisers still have their tactical dip. I think the Stalkers need to go back, maybe a recall to join up with these Tempests, and then that'll really prevent the BCs from just blinking on top. Astrea is not in a bad situation economy-wise, and SuperNova has lost a lot of SCVs too. He's starting to mine out at some of his bases as well. So, I mean, as long as Astrea can build up Tempest, there's always a chance. SuperNova actually losing a battle cruiser and just opts to blink on out of there. So Astrea still in this game. He's building up an army though, but we'll see. I mean, it's looking pretty rough for him still. I mean, there's really no answer to these battle cruisers. Oh no, do not go in there, Astrea. Do not attack that base. Look at this beautiful tank line for SuperNova. A Liberator 2, a Planetary. Astrea, if he goes in with these Stalkers, he's just going to get mangled. He's going for it, though. Oh, these tanks getting off so many shots. I'm not sure there's going to be enough Stalkers to focus down the Planetary. I mean, it's going to be close, but looking at this, SuperNova just picking off another base. The Tempest, where are the Tempest? I mean, they're trying to chase down these BCs, but it looks like, is he going to get the Planetary? It doesn't look like it now. The SCV repair is too strong. Astrea really got to focus down these SCVs now, but here comes in some BCs, so Astrea has to get out of there right now. The Tempests send these BCs back, but SuperNova is still taking the better trade, I think, although if we look at it right now, I mean, he's not got the best economy. So there's always a chance that Astrea wins out just because he's done such a good job for keeping up these bases. I mean, looks like he's going to recall on top of these battle cruisers. If he gets one or two, I mean, when SuperNova's on a low economy, every one of value matters, and boom, he gets another one, which is nice. He can't engage this planetary. I mean, Astrea is staying on this ground army for so long. The mobility of the Stalkers is nice, but oh no, the mine's getting massive shots off. Astrea taking some pretty significant losses right now. Resources lost is just so far ahead for SuperNova. He's going to be able to kill off that base. And Astrea, I don't think he just has an answer for this. There's a lot of mines here too. These Tempests are in a pretty exposed position without too much to cover for him. Possible SuperNova is just going to take the fight. Astrea blinks on in once again, though. Anti-armor missiles going down, and there's the blink. The battle cruisers, tactical jumping. Stalkers are in position, but mine's now chasing after this. Yamato cannon's going down. So far, Astrea has kept his army alive. He's warping in Stalkers, though, but Stalkers nor Tempest are good against Widow mines. There goes some of the mine shots. This battle cruiser army, just look at it. It's too much. SuperNova takes the game, meching it happen versus Sloth Astrea. So, that was an interesting game. I mean, I really did knock Astrea's style there, staying on the ground army so much. I mean, he had a pretty good spot there, but he didn't quite build up and become solid enough. But, I mean, he was close to making some nice plays happen with that Gateway army. He was always so active with the Stalkers. I mean, if he had maybe focused a little bit more on his economy while doing that, and then eventually teched into a lot of Tempests, it would have been better. But he never reached that quite critical mass. I guess he just decided he wanted to play around it. But yeah, anyway, if you guys enjoyed the cast, I certainly enjoyed the game. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. I'm always trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I will always be trying to hit that mark until we hit it. So feel free to leave a subscribe, as I'm always putting out the content. I shall see you guys next time.